Everybody, clearing. Okay, hello. We're going to get into a Divine Feminine support reading. And all I keep hearing is decisions coming up for the DF. So let's dive into it. And then I'm going to also do a Divine Feminine check-in for the masculines that are watching. But this is going to give everybody a little bit of an inside scoop on decision making for the DFs going forward at this time. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information. I'm staring at Union on the top here. And alignment information coming through. What can we see for the Divine Feminines and the choices ahead emotionally, mentally, and physically? What do the Divine Feminines most need to know emotionally at this time about the decisions they are making? Temple of Centering, Solitude, Seclusion, Grounding, and Belonging. This is one of the Twin Flame cards. Each counterpart and the shared space. So whatever's happening right now emotionally, feminines, keep it separated. You're doing this in solitude. You're making your decisions based on your needs, your wholeness, everything that is a factor for you. There's something simultaneous going on about this shared place, and there's this deep sense of belonging. So if you can take yourself out of the typical way that you're accustomed to seeing material realm relationships unfold, where there's lusty passion, you glom together in sexual bliss, and then you get into a premature connection and all hell breaks loose because you don't really know this person, you don't really have a game plan, you haven't balanced out any kind of understanding of roles or where you fit in. And then it takes you XYZ number of years to figure out where you went wrong, why you're not compatible, and to work through the guilt and shame to release yourself. That's a karmic relationship, right? These connections bring in a deep sense of belonging from the inside out, the outside in, and it slides into union in the most organic, beautiful ways that don't necessarily look like a relationship on the surface. So yeah, this is your motion right now to really remember that you're doing everything emotionally for you and what is going to keep you balanced going forward. And that very collection of decisions that you're making is in solitude is actually bringing you DFs into alignment with your counterpart and creating a deep sense of belonging. There is an instability that happens when we prioritize the relationship and the person, and we don't really fit into community or, the big picture. These connections establish, they overlap community, friend groups, career, they overlap those things, and then the relationship clicks. Typically, when something is aligned, there is a really beautiful connectivity that is not egocentric to the romantic relationship. This is a counterintuitive by worldly standards where love is all you need and that person's all you need and we can figure it all out. But there is something right now that if there is more of a solitude going on, a solo becoming, but it's bringing you closer to your counterpart, really look at how the universe likes to align things and think of it not as a rejection, not as a impersonal experience, but as a holistic one. Let's see how this is playing out for the feminines in the material realm. Okay, yeah, the devil energies. So this is so cool because look at, there's the counterparts here. They can't tell that they're so close but no cigar. That's changing. This is another nudge to the devil energies that come in when we think that it needs to be that material realm typical relationship. This is turning that philosophy on its head and getting divine feminine's wits about them by establishing nobody is going to give you props right now. If you're really aligned with this incredible intuitive guidance, feminines, you're going to be moving in ways that others maybe won't understand. You're moving into uncharted territory. You're following complete divine guidance in your own way. If you know this, you're resonating with it. And that is removing this idea that you have to be in this relationship with your counterpart, or that it needs to look a certain kind of way. Those devil energies are being removed, and you are living your life based on pure faith right now. But because it resonates so deeply, because you've become so aligned that you know how to trust, and that it doesn't matter what anybody outside of you thinks. You've been preparing for this, feminine. So there are major changes coming for divine feminines. Okay, and there's going to be communication. So emotionally, you're going to be speaking from a place of surety, and it's nobody's business, I just heard, if they think you're being a certain kind of way or not. It is all between you and the divine, and overcoming your devil energies, the fear. And that does not mean doing things that make you feel uncomfortable. I'm talking about having such a deep, deep peace that you feel completely aligned with what you're doing, feminine. So don't make it fit if it doesn't. Don't just go out and do things because you've seen a reading like this. But you will be communicating from this autonomous place going forward. And some of you will be prophesying. For those who you are encouraged or feeling that welling up to communicate to certain people about your choices, your decisions, it may feel or look almost prophetic, because there may not be a lot of material realm indication that what you're deciding or doing or emotionally freeing yourself to choose is warranted. You might look crazy to certain people around you right now. If you know, you know, though. So yeah, emotionally, you've got to really look at grounding your sense of belonging as the key here in your life, positioning yourself, because your life is being set up for extraordinary things, abundance, true love, all of that at this time, feminine. So stay the course with what you're being shown to do. Keep overcoming devil energies. Don't make any decisions while those devil energies are still there. Make sure that you have balanced those out before you do the things. And you will see also, when you're stepping in faith, that certain obstacles that you perceived would be there will melt away. That's another synchronicity, that if that is happening, if you push through a concern and you do take action based on faith, you should very rightfully see mountains move out of your way. That's a huge confirmation that you chose wisely. It's like believing is seeing in some regard. For those walking in that level of faith, you will know what I'm talking about. So you will also be getting communication. This is coming towards you, feminines. So this is by the end of the year. It kind of fell out into the semi-future here. You will be getting peaceful communication. You're going to 1, 2, 3 messages coming in from different places or the same place, but you are going to get confirmation, feminines. So it comes in 3s. I'm being drawn to 3 signs here. So if you are unsure, feminines, please ask for those signs for confirmation. Don't just do things again because you're amped up on a reading like this. It's got to actually resonate. Don't force anything to fit. But yes, emotionally, it's uncharted territory. You've been refined, feminines, and now you are moving on faith. You are moving interdimensionally. You are moving forward to your destined life, no longer in your fated life. Okay, let's see what we can for the... I'm just hearing this is like sci-fi. It's so beautiful that we are in this day and age. We can do this. Okay, conscious mind, Orion Stargate, power, authority, influence, ambition. Yes, you're being positioned towards your influence, your ambition, your abundance, your dream life, feminines. You've been manifesting this out the yin yang, I just heard. So Yes, and auric cleansing, replenishment, renewal, restoration. This came out in the inverse. So this means cutting ties with anything lower vibrational that you're ready to release. That means the way you're looking at certain things. It means situations that you're still putting yourself in. Cut those ties, cut those beliefs, and see what comes in. You are being refined towards your abundance, your ambition, your influence in the world, and you are at another stage where certain patterns need to go. Thought patterns, assumptions, ways of looking at things. If you have a particular sticking point, a brain teaser that's been keeping you from freedom, it can look like things are happening to you, feminines, but rest assured, you are being evolved towards this higher calling. And so some of the hurdles that you're passing are looking at the immovable obstacles in ways that give you the ability to see them differently so that they change. I know that I've recently come through a major releasing of a karmic pattern where I prayed for 2 full days. What is the key? 1111 I just saw. And I was given the key and talked to a certain person and gave my blessing for something and said, like, I wish you the best with this thing. And then everything sort of changed. I believe the energy was already changing as such, but that communication from both sides was such a beautiful in the energy. And so now I'm more free to go towards the things that I need to be doing in my daily life for my heart to be free and singing more often, as an example. Okay, what can we see in the material realm for the feminines that are cutting lower vibrational patterns and ties in order to go towards this higher calling and doing this consciously? What can we see? How is that playing out in the material realm? Now, King of Swords, making some cuts. This is in the inverse. So this can be legal matters, finances. It can be, divorces, relationships, any kind of contracts that need to be cut. And 5 of Wands, that's my karma card. So do everything right now. Cut these ties right now to bring you peace. Anything that rocks your peace, stop thinking those ways and stop putting yourself in those directions. This is time to make those cuts and be very decisive that even though there are redeeming qualities to everything, because love is omnipotent, omnipresent, you still have to prune the tree for it to produce fruit. And you are now more focused on fruit being produced in your life than trying to keep a tree the way it is. Apple trees don't bear fruit if you don't prune them properly. So it is time to consciously do an overhaul of what are your outlets that are actually bearing fruit right now and which ones are not viable. Feminines, it's time to, in this Capricorn season, really set those intentions. And this new moon energy is also incredibly potent for this kind of intention setting. So definitely consider what you need to do to further bring your peace in, feminines. Okay, what can we see in the physical realm at this time for making decisions for the feminines? We are getting, oh, beautiful, exactly. The pruning cards back me up on pruning, creation, multiplication, and growth. So growth is the name of the game right now. You are excelling beyond your known universe in the physical realm. This is going to be evident because we have growth in the 3D, in the material realm. So chamber of regeneration. So we got replenishment, renewal, restoration on the conscious mind. And then, it starts in the energetic realms, emotions, conscious mind. And then it comes into the physical. So you've been doing the work. You've been setting your life up when it starts to be evident to others. So some of that prophetic energy in the beginning, it's going to start. You're going to be backed up in the physical coming up here. It's going to fall into place. And people who thought that you had no hope to manifest the things that you were going towards. They are going to start to see this evidence, feminines. You're going to be redeemed for your insight, your intuition, your faith-based navigation. People are going to say, what? Where did that come from? That's the kind of energy we're getting here. But how is this playing out at this time for the feminines? King of Pentacles, and there's a card that's flipped over, I think. Oh, yes. Wow. King of Pentacles and the reunion card. So this is some inner child healing. This is your accountability to bring in union right now with your King of Pentacles. Here's the card from yesterday where the unicorn was helping you grow faster and come into being. So stay neutral about this, because right now you've got to do some showing up, decision making. You've got to make some major moves and changes in your life right now, feminines, that bring your side of the energy fully free and clear to pursue your King of Pentacles. And so if you want to promote and foster growth, it's now go time for those changes, feminines, for you to cut ties, for you to get out of situations and contracts and burdens that no longer serve. Anything that rocks your peace, it's time to cut free. And you are going to go through that rite of passage. Nobody's going to come in and save you. This is about you walking through the fire and doing another level of things, deciding another level of decisions so you can come into alignment. No more knight in shining armor waiting for your masculine to come in and, you know, emotionally support you through those things. This is you and source, feminines. And that's why it's really coming close to full-on reunion with your counterpart here. We get many union energy readings, and a lot of them are layers of things that are towards union. So union isn't necessarily in a love relationship with somebody or a physical relationship. You can be in a hollow physical relationship and not have gone through the growth and the progress needed. So just coming into that relationship is not the be-all end-all. It's all the stuff that authentically happens on the way there that allows for you to enjoy it fully. So really look at what you still need to clear emotionally, mentally, and physically so that you have complete trust and security, safety, beautiful fidelity, monogamy, all of that. Work on that stuff. Yesterday in private readings, the resounding message was over and over. Everything that's showing up for you that's an obstacle, that's inconvenient, that feels too hard, that feels insurmountable, those are the things that once you love them fully and show up fully for those things and be grateful that those things are arising for you to address at this time in the energy. Once you do that, that is your quickest way to union, is to absolutely embrace those challenges and know with every fiber in your being that those very challenges are the exact things that are the steps towards union, even though it's indirect. We are, again, holistically looking. So right now, this is personal accountability and doing the things, first persons, feminines, that are taking you into the life that you have been asking for. You have to show up for that life in order to have access to that life. But once you learn how to do that, then you will have access to the infinite. And you already have that. Okay, so let's get into the reading for the feminines. For the masculines to see where the feminines are at. I'm also going to pull some cards for some advice for what the masculines could consider doing or saying or being in alignment with the feminines, what we see here. So thank you, Divine Creator. What are the divine feminines thinking and feeling about these connections and their counterparts? What are the divine feminines wishing and doing at this time towards these connections, directly or indirectly? What is the biggest challenge? What is the solution for that challenge? Where are the energies going in the near future? That means the next few weeks till the end of the year. And what do the divine masculines need to know about what we're seeing here? Any advice for the masculines on how to act or what to do regarding what they see here? I'm going to get another set that's going to reflect. Actually, I'm going to use those cards. I was told that before, I forgot. I do the Starseed Oracle for the feminines. So after we see what the masculines' advice is here, we're going to also look at feminines, how you can sort of holistically view. So it's like inception layer reading today, but let's start with the feminines. Okay, conscious mind about the connection. They're digging deep. Feminines have never been at this level of depth. We've got the moon and the Four of Pentacles in the inverse. For me, that card is the cracking open of the heart, the safe code that's been cracked, and the door of the heart is opening. So feminines are going deep, deep, deep beyond any human error in you masculines. The feminines are going deep within themselves to their divinity. This moon energy is the subconscious, and in the inverse, it is delving to the level of beyond the subconscious, doing the drop in back to source, back to safety, connection to source. And this is what is allowing the feminines to open their hearts and walk into uncharted territory with you right now, divine masculines. So if your feminine is making moves and you're not sure how any human being could trudge forward in the way that they are right now, this is because they have unconditional love, because they are in safety, because they are being guided by faith at this time, and they are superhuman. They're no longer succumbing to the fears, the imbalances, the concerns. They no longer find their worthiness in how others view them. They no longer need that validation, even from you masculines, and all they want, the two of you, they are not negating you in this energy. They are prioritizing you, and they know that to have the love of a lifetime, they have to go to God for that. They have to go to the depths. They have to go beyond, below, around. Their heart has to have enough room in it for all forgiveness of everything from the past. This is cleared slate. This is ready for love, and knowing that if you can't match them there, divine masculine or anyone, that it's on the other person, because they have become an empty vessel for love. That does not mean they are a doormat. That means they just won't have it. They won't have anything like that, because there's no second guessing what they're worth anymore. Oh, feminines, this is profound. So with the decisions that you're facing right now, this is what is required to go to that Jedi level in your life. Very, very few on the planet have been able to view things in such an emotionally whole way, masterful way, and the feminines are truly getting there. What can we see for advice for the masculines? There's the Magician. This card, the High Priestess, has been coming up for the feminines nonstop lately, and the Magician keeps pouncing for the masculines here. So pouncing, so the masculines, you do have some kind of a master plan. This Magician energy, you're waiting for the right moment to spring it on your feminines. And so, yes, you are getting these downloads. So keep paying attention to this higher guidance that you're getting. You do have everything you need. Your fear is starting to balance out. I do see the masculines looking to others around them for support here. The jaguar or the leopard here is looking outside of the connection for some kind of assistance in this plan, is what I'm getting. So divine feminines, friends and family may be in on your connection. You may not know how much your masculine is saying to others right now. They could be getting their ducks in a row and directing a little bit of a team towards something of a surprise for you. They are up to something and other people know about it, and you are the last to know, feminine. So there is a little bit of a hush hush when it comes to your connection, but people that you don't know about it now. And it's because your masculine is orchestrating something. What is the advice for the feminines? luminosity, empowerment, forward motion, light body activator. So you are being asked, look at this, the green. You are being asked to shine soul bright right now and just keep going forward, doing you, being true to you, making your decisions in alignment with what is best for you. Again, I'm going to say it, it's bringing you closer to union, cutting out everything that you need to. You're manifesting your reality. So when you're emanating this crystalline healing light because you've healed your own path, you're going to be seeing reflected in your reality that which is compatible to that level of resonance. And like energy begets like energy here. And so there is something that's coming in for you as you just work on freeing yourself for what comes next. What comes next is going to be grand. What can we see for the feminine's conscious mind for you, divine masculines? Wow, Wheel of Fortune and the Sun, both in the inverse, major arcana. So they're completely leaving it up to divine guidance and trusting that whatever it's going to be, whenever it's going to be, whomever it's going to be, for most feminines, there is some question whether or not you, divine masculine, are actually going to be the one because you haven't legitimately shown up yet. That indicates the level of safety and trust that the feminines have. So while you're completely their preference, they don't fully know if that's what the divine is going to lead them towards ultimately. On this journey, many feminines have thought that they had met their twin flame. They thought, or, they have met their twin flame and that turned out to be an ascension buddy, like in my case, and then meeting somebody new that really is divinely aligned in every way, in 1,000 ways. But the feminines still aren't going to put their faith in a person. They're still going to walk forward on that edge towards where they're being guided. And really, it's still to be seen whether you are that. And this is beautiful because this is the non-attachment that the feminines have been clamoring at times to reach. This is what non-attachment, it's the not needing to know, it's not needing to know the timing or the details or, be vigilant on any information, but trusting that if the feminines are making their decisions for them, whoever ends up aligning, whenever they end up aligning, that is truly what they're here for. They can never settle for anything less than a fully aligned counterpart now. Advice for the masculines. Wow, this was the key card in everything last night in the reading. If you haven't watched the wacky love glasses reading, these ones, let's see, do I want to wear them just for this card? So this is the original separation wound. This is the healing of the agnostic. This is believing in God. This is believing in love. This is the only hope we have for true life partnership, monogamy, fidelity, actual alignment, is knowing that this is a divinely guided connection. And so masculines, keep talking to your higher power and coming into the peace about everything. Ask to be shown the confirmations that this is your person. If you have any remaining doubt, look at the big picture, look at the growth, look at how your universes have been transformed, how the universe itself seems to be conspiring to bring this human into closer proximity with your life. And, dare God to continue to slide that into home base for you. Literally go to your connection to source and heal that, as your feminine is also doing the same thing. Can't read with these, they're too dark. What can we see for advice for the feminines? Universal attunement, repatterning, and guidance. So continue going higher for your guidance, feminines. Because right now you are walking with faith with the divine and everything's being orchestrated for you. It's not just your masculine moving mountains, although they are manifesting in your favor. It is the original templates that exist that both of you are aligning to that is really why this will have success. When two people through free will get to a level of consciousness where they know and can discern what is truly healthy, balanced, good, and right, and true, and alive, and exciting, that's when it clicks. That's when divine timing comes in. You can't have that if one person is there. You can't have that if you think you're there already. You have to authentically be there. And this is showing to be bringing that kind of mastery in for humans, and a lot of connections are going to pop off and come together because humanity is getting to this level of consciousness. And so it will happen forevermore. I'm going to say again, it's not reduced or confined to a set number of unions, like 144,000. When we hit those marks, I feel like we've already hit that mark in 2020, at least, that people believed this was possible. But it's a domino effect as a legacy for the planet. When people come into this level of standard for relationships, divine level, as a collective motion, it seeds that into the consciousness of humanity and sets the bar. And it's a chain reaction now as a legacy. As we ascend, it's going to be the new norm eventually. So yes, it is really a divinely orchestrated thing, but not because it hasn't always been so. Humans are getting to this level of consciousness. And so we're now starting to see relationships vibrate at a level where this safety is available to individuals coming together in the name of love as divinely guided. Because as you get in the vicinity of this kind of a frequency, it's an algorithm, it's a frequency. As you get into the vicinity, the gravity of it refines you the rest of the way there. It is a perfected thing. Once you catch wind of it, oh, you can't let that go, and you're well on your way. So all of you watching this, you're here for a reason, and trust the process. It can't fail. You must be evolved in the name of love once you get into this level of consideration of relationships. Okay, feminines on the heart space, the World and the Three of Cups in the inverse. So this is that New Year's stuff. Right now, feminines, really tailor your understanding of what you want in a relationship based on friendship that's streamlining towards love. So this is that developmental stage where the friendship has been set. There has been an acknowledgement of an unconditional friendship. In these connections, there has been proof that you unconditionally deem each other a friend against all odds. This is saying that cycle hasn't fully closed, hasn't fully balanced, but it is en route to the two left standing here. So feminines know on the heart space that this is an evolutionary process that has been deeming this connection valid because of the ability to set that unconditionally loving friendship first and then allow it to organically deepen if and when it's going to with you, divine masculine. If it's not going to with you, they now know certain things that they didn't know before that they will apply to another relationship. What is the advice for the masculines? Keep going forward. This is the card we saw yesterday where the masculines were wanting to be accepted for their growth by the high priestess. So masculines, stay the course. Keep doing the things you're shown to do to prove this friendship, to show up, to align. And as it begins to deepen and mature, continue to be humble in the process. What is the advice for the feminines? Blue Star of Hope, Ascension, Surrender, Purification. So as you're closing out those cycles that have happened where the friendship wasn't established first, this is such a deep reading too. Where you're closing that out, you're also simultaneously ascending. That's a beautiful awareness to have, feminines, because as you are no longer satisfied by the interactions that are just physical based, material realm based, lust, you're looking holistically at health of relationship and stability and true foundation in friendship. As you do that and you take the pressure off or the denial off that sex is all you need or chemistry is all you need, and you really look at the orchestration of the big picture, that's you ascending and coming into mastery and not being naive anymore. And these connections are going to reflect that. What can we see for the feminines on the heart space for the masculines? Five of Wands and the Five of Wands, both in the inverse. So everybody is getting rid of the fluff right now. In the heart of heart, you are in tandem processing. Both of you are doing this clearing. Both of you are letting bygones be bygones, water under the bridge, like no record of right and wrong from before. It's a brand new day. Slate is wiped clean on the heart space. Everybody is saying, take a deep breath. This is where it gets deeper. 55 is a number of change. Watch for that. If you're not in communication with your counterpart and you see 55s, just know that they are making the changes sight unseen. But this is also where we go from the developing energies to a deepening soul experience and acknowledgement. So both counterparts are simultaneously deepening towards a more heartful, more holistic way of living that includes this deep empathic friendship between the two. Oh yeah, masculines, this is now yin yang click. This is justice. On the heart space, you are now warranted, justified to acknowledge this connection. It is safe. That's beautiful. So feminines, your masculines now know that this has come into unconditional love. You know, sometimes you don't think your masculine understands this, but why do you think they resist if there's still kinks to work out? What is the advice for the feminines? Light, wholeness, warmth, well-being. This is alignment within your soul, feminines. So stay with that love light turned on. Stay the course, be the love, be the change you wish to see in the world. But rest right now, because in resting, you have a different vantage point. In play and in rest, you tackle decisions and circumstances differently than if you are in stress or imbalance, if you are not in the frequency of wholeness and whole well-being. You're going to be coming at things in a more skeptical, short-sighted, possibly naive, knee-jerk, reactionary kind of way. When you're in wholeness, you can be objective. You can see things that you don't normally see, angles of things that you haven't usually considered. You're more level-headed. You make more healthy decisions. So stay right now in that alignment, feminines, with what you know is going to be good and right and true for you. No rush. What can we see for what the feminines want to manifest at this time? Whoa, the Tower and the Moon. So they are feminines are going through this total inner restructuring under the cover of everything right now. Feminines are not telling anyone, masculine, about their plans, really. I heard the cat's out of the bag in some regard, but at the same time, feminines are restructuring their lives, mustering the courage, getting up the gumption to do the things that they are being guided in the Holy of Holies in their hearts right now. They are seeing instructions coming in that are no longer fantasy. These are real, grounded, real instructions that are being shown to the feminines for their lives right now. And you know it's not fantasy, feminines, if the visions that you're seeing are now more heavily centered on first person rather than the visions of you and your masculine in the future. You can have flickers and glimmers of that, but if the instructions are truly the things that you alone need to do, and you are in non-attachment for how your masculine fits into that, but you're still in the frequency of love, that's the sweet spot to be in right now. So feminines are really manifesting and changing their lives to make themselves free and clear to actually receive you, masculines. What is the advice for the masculines? Baby steps. This is the beginning of the new real lives, masculines. So keep stride for stride. I'm seeing the wedding ceremony, dun 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 dun, with the bride taking those steps. This is you matching each of those steps. Your feminine making a change and you matching them. Feminine making a stride and you matching them. That's like the dance partner, showcasing the feminine here. So masculines, yes, it's one at a time, but your feminine is going through a major restructuring right now internally that nobody but maybe you could see. That is this freedom act. And so the feminines are freeing themselves from within, the shackles from within that have kept them small. And the feminines are going to be coming out. Also, feminines, there's a veil thin here with the raven in, or the crow in the moon. Ancestors are talking to you right now. Okay, let's get a little quick ancestor message. Oh, I got goosebumps. Are they here? What do the ancestors have to say about the feminine's decisions and this major structural realignment right now? Yeah. The clouds are going to clear. This fell right on the baby steps for the masculines. So you're not meant to know. The ancestors are saying part of your faith-based motion right now is this acting on faith without having to know. And you are in the energy, you are actually being shrouded from knowing what's going on your masculine side right now so that you can fully surrender into putting yourself first for once, feminines. The ancestors are saying this is the way of it. This is the level of excellence that you're coming into, and they're pointing straight at you. Your Merlin lineages, for some, that's going to resonate. Any of the sacred, spiritually guided traditions in your particular genealogy or culture or soul family, feminines, all of that, this wizard is pointing straight at you. You are the flagship of your family line right now. You are breaking generational curses. You are coming into mastery, sovereignty, self-direction with connection to source. That is the ultimate proof of your freedom from everything that has bound your family line. The ancestors are saying you are the chosen one that has come to redeem your family line in the name of love, that you're on this path of mastery and you are doing this. It is your path. You will be rewarded with the love of a lifetime, but right now you need to keep going through these hurdles, through these obstacles, through these changes, knowing that everything that you are doing right now is breaking family curses. And the ancestors say, oh, they are so proud of you, divine feminines, for going forward this way. And you do not need to know what is going on your masculine side right now, because this is your sovereign becoming. Wow. Thank you, ancestors. What do the feminines need to know about the masculines? Yes, psychic vision, hidden meanings, dream reading. So this is like the moon energy too, the high priestess energy, sight unseen, making these maneuvers without physical realm confirmation right now. Feminines, stay the course in what you're being directed to do, because you are literally cracking the veil between the dimensions right now, I just heard. Ooh. What are the feminine's actions at this time so that the masculines can see what is indirect or directly bringing them closer to union? Eight of Pentacles and strength. With humble strength, the feminines are focusing on their gifts and talents in the world. Eight of Pentacles is the card of the specialist, taking their career to the next level. Feminines are about ready to go into uncharted territory with new modalities, with the things that they've brought in as their life work, their star-seeded missions. That's all going to be coming to light. Their humility, they're walking through the fire right now in order to be qualified to do these motions into the world. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. What can we see for the masculine? Yes, this is you embodying your masculinity, your spirituality. This is the shaman, my divine masculine monogamous king. This is the spiritually realized sexual I love this king. This king is the most gorgeous, vivacious, alive confident, embodied, easygoing, go with the flow, walk between worlds kind of king. No holds barred kind of king, because you've trusted yourself, you've come into your own. So masculines, keep reveling in this incredibly exquisite work of art that you have become. Oof, feminines, get ready for your masculine to show you who they really are, like they've never shown anybody before. And as you focus diligently on what you need to do, your masculine is waiting for you to get to a specific point in time and accountability where you have eyes to see what has been transpiring in these connections, but also where you have been brought through the safekeeping. Your masculine is watching you, is waiting for signs and synchronicities on the timing. And they have very, very deep hunter instinctual cues of your readiness, and their sense of navigating timing and synchronicities. It has a lot to do with things being aligned in the physical and in linear time. Masculines are very proficient at being in the flow of when things click, when things align to actually happen in the physical, the timing of that. They are always watching for that kind of effortless flow. So I am also seeing that this masculine, this snake has its tongue out and they taste things. They're also signaling to the people that they've been communicating with about your connection that they're starting to sense the time is nearing. What do the feminines need to know about this? Correspondence, declaration, and telepathy. So we're getting a lot of intuitive, faith-based, telepathic navigation here. So feminines, your intuition is on point right now. And you might be getting some of these nudges. If this reading is resonating, you have been getting these faith-based confirmations, and this would be no news to you. So just keep trusting it and staying the course and being guided in the Most High on how you're meant to be making choices right now. What is the biggest challenge for the feminines? Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups. These two cards came out together in different decks yesterday in a slightly different way. But the challenge is knowing that there are a lot of things you don't understand or have not been privy to from your masculine, but you're still staying the course based on faith. So that's the challenge for the feminines right now, masculines, is knowing that they're used to having more information than you give them. And because you have been holding your own and requiring your feminine to completely come into their own, so they're not pinning anything on you. I think I'm in awe of the masculines that are strong enough not to cave to the sensual connections in these connections and to stay the course and to be patient. Feminines, give a shout to the masculines in the comments below that have been on this journey, because it's their cross to bear to not come forward sooner. And it's allowing you to completely uproot all of the things that cause you heartache, and where you allow yourself to settle for things that are not quite good enough. You know who you are, feminines. You know what I'm talking about. This journey illuminates that so deeply, how we gloss over and carpet sweep things that haven't actually warranted the level of connection that we say we want. And this challenge for the feminines is staying the course regardless of the stage of that, and knowing specifically that there is stuff that the masculines have not communicated, they have not overcome fully yet, and that we don't need to know. As feminines, we don't need to know what that is. We just need to know that we will meet at the corner in the pathway that the trails converge. We will meet there. We're going towards that. But right now, it's staying the course. That's the challenge. What do the masculines need to know? This is your free will, masculines, so that you are focused on long-term and not short-sighted things. This is all those times, masculines, where you haven't had the words to express what you've been feeling, the stress, the pressure, and you've been spastastic and said and done things that you haven't meant. This time, you're going to see another opportunity to question whether this relationship is real, whether what you think this love is real or not. You're going to have that opportunity to, rebel again, or resist, or push away, or get frustrated, or go into fear and overthinking. But you also have the opportunity to, I just heard, stay celibate, stay the course, stay focused on this love. Believe that even though your feminine is setting the friendship, that they love you and they want you as their preference. Stay in that balance, masculines, where you're looking at this holistic manifestation and you're not getting caught up in those details that rock your boat right now. What do the feminines need to know? Path change, paradigm shifts, adjustments. So there are major adjustments coming in. And this one in particular, the challenge being that you don't need to know what's going on for your masculine. In the past, you've wanted to know and been all up in people's business because you've wanted to safeguard yourself and protect yourself. This is a totally different thing, because the only true protection is divine protection. Rejection is divine protection. So you've been really learning to cultivate your connection with source and not needing to know. This is a major path change into safety and trust. What is the solution to this for the feminines? Page of Swords and Ace of Cups. Look to the unconditional love. Fact of the matter is, everybody has their sovereign journey. And when we do align, and when both counterparts are mutually wanting to communicate and deepen together, that's when it can get off the ground. Don't desire that prematurely. Desire that when it is warranted, feminines, and continue to be curious about what unconditional love really is. If you have some sticking point in your connection or in any connection, go into this curiosity about what would unconditionally loving assessment be about that thing, or about that circumstance, or about that scenario, and really look at it holistically, objectively, big picture. Have room in your heart for the things that you think are at odds, and really step back and say, how could that be working together? How could that very thing that triggers me actually be bringing me closer to union, or bringing that person more closely into what love is, so that they can be union ready? One of the masculines, keep your love light on, keep wishing, keep heart wishing for the things that really make you feel good, and know, masculines, that you will be designing that as you come to those conscious understandings of what actually you want for the long term, what would truly empower you. Watch it unfold in these connections. You just need to pinpoint those things for it to be realized in your physical. What is the feminine advice? Sophistication, ingenuity, originality, and elegance. This is your nobility coming in, feminines, when you do not take it personally and you just love unconditionally, compassionately the becoming of your masculine, your sovereign becoming, and reveling in how that's bringing you closer together. It's a very sophisticated, nuanced journey, a dance. You are dancing with the divine right now, feminines. Crystal at Heart to Heart Love Messages said that today. I just watched her reading before doing this one, and so much of the advice for the divine feminines that I was feeling in the energy is confirmed in her reading as well. What an incredible reader she is. Go check her out. Direction in the near future. The Emperor and the Star, both in the inverse. So this is letting go of control issues and immediate. So this is the now. This is where things are starting to click, and the emperors are showing up. They are getting the divine guidance that the feminines are at a ripeness where they can come in, and people won't lose themselves in these connections. Their freedom won't be lost. What is the advice for the masculines? Continue looking at what makes you the happiest and pinpointing those things first person, so you can see that potential or reality with your feminine and appreciate it. When you see these things in your feminine, divine masculines, when you can witness specific things that you actually like and prefer to see and have always wanted in a partner, in a relationship, Do not be afraid to point those specific things out to your feminine. Likewise, feminine, don't be afraid to point out exactly the things you appreciate about your masculine. That can be indirect or direct, but it's about time that we start affirming the things that we actually adore in these scenarios so that we can know this about each other. And feminines, temple of eventual destinies, benevolence, spiritual progression, and enlightenment. Yes, you're going through an enlightened first person overhaul where you're now seeing it's not selfish, it's not egocentric in a negative way to design your best life and then see who fits in and who aligns and how, because you're living your best life. Instead of trying to make it fit, feminines, you're going into trusting that everything good will come when you do what you are guided to do, first person, to come into balance, healing, safety, wholeness, emotional balance, non-attachment, and you just make the changes going forward that are best for you. Just watch who shows up. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.